Hi everyone, my name's Freya Graff and I'm a Yoni mapping therapist with over 8 years of experience and a holistic sex coach. And I wanted to address a really common question that I get all the time, and that is, how do I choose a Yoni massage therapist, Yoni practitioner, Yoni body worker that's going to be right for me and that's going to be a safe choice? Because it is a very murky, kind of unregulated industry. There's everything from Yoni practitioners that have done a weekend workshop all the way to people who have gone to uni and done sexological body work and things like this. So it's very varied, and it's super important that you find a practitioner with heaps of experience, heaps of integrity, and that's going to be trauma informed and really tailored to what your needs are. So there's a bunch of red flags to look out for. There's a few things to research yourself and to keep in mind when you're trying to select a practitioner. And I've done a sort of more extensive blog post about it on my website, which you can check out as well. But for now, I'm going to give you a bit of a rundown on some of the things that I would be looking up first when doing my research. And back when I started doing this work in the field, it was so much more fringe. It was really uncommon, really kind of esoteric, very misunderstood. But Yoni massage and Yoni mapping is becoming kind of trendy these days. So more and more people are looking for these services, but they're not entirely sure what to look for, and they maybe aren't aware of the pitfalls if they don't do their research properly. So I felt the need to make this video just to give you a bit of an idea about what to prepare for and how to do your research, because it is important to do your due diligence. Firstly, some of the things that I would be searching for straight away when I find, a practitioner is, what does their website look like? How does it feel to me? How much experience have they said that they've got? What sort of training have they done? Who have they trained under? Do you like the way that person or that lineage of Yoni work approaches Yoni massage? Can you do a bit of research around that? How many years of experience do they have? What qualifications do they have? Any of that kind of stuff. I'd have a look on their website and see if I can glean that information. Are they trauma informed? This is a really big one because this is such a delicate, sensitive, vulnerable area to be working with, and so many of us have sexual trauma and different things that might be triggered in these sessions. So we need someone really experienced and trauma informed so that they can professionally and expertly hold space for our trauma responses to arrive if they do. Next would be, how long are their sessions for? If it's 1-2 hour session, red flag. You really can't do what you need to do in a session, especially a first time session with a client, in anything less than 3 hours. Some Yoni massage sessions will go up to 7 or even 8 hours. I only ever book one per day, and I do a minimum of 3 hours because it is a massive deal to expect someone to, trust you to enter this part of their body with a part of your body. Like using your fingers to do internal vaginal massage is huge, and you can't just approach this lightly and you can't rush into it. So, in any good Yoni massage session, you'll have a component of talk therapy, having chat between you, developing rapport, trust, figuring out where, you as a client are at, what you might need support with. And then if you're ready, moving towards the body work with a full body massage to honor the whole body and relax you before approaching any genital touch. And then lastly, the Yoni massage and the internal work. So you really do need a minimum of 3 hours, and I would be having alarm bells ringing if any session was less than this. Similarly with cost, if it's anything less than $350, then either that practitioner is severely undervaluing their work, or it's probably not a really professional, high-level quality Yoni massage session, because anyone in this industry with proper training charges between $350 and $700. These sessions are massive. They are a huge energy and time investment. It's a lot of contact hours, and if you kind of equate it to like roughly $100 to $200 per hour of contact time, like you would pay that for a talk therapy session or some other healing session, and then you expand that out to like a 3 to 7 hour yoni mapping session, it's going to be a fair investment of money. So if their prices are too cheap, that would also kind of indicate to me that either they're really new in the industry, or they're sort of just charging a lot less than what a real session would be worth. And maybe they're just cheaper, but that is something that I would be taking into account. I would be making sure they definitely include full body massage before any yoni work, so they're not just going straight for the genitals and skipping any of the really important steps. I would be looking on their website to see if they have lots of testimonials and reviews from past clients, just reading those, feeling if they resonate, seeing if they seem real. Do they have pictures next to them or names? Like, does it seem like an authentic, genuine testimonials page? And do those testimonials speak to you and make you feel like, oh, this practitioner seems like they would be right for me? I would also highly recommend booking with a female practitioner. And I don't have anything against men. It's just there's a lot less risk, a lot less grey area and murkiness when it's woman with woman. And a lot of women are not ready to do this work with a man. That could be potentially really triggering and risky for them. So to avoid any of that risk, female practitioner is a great place to start. I'd also, once you arrive, be looking out for things like, does this practitioner have really strong professional boundaries? Are they talking about things like consent and boundaries and safety? Do they have clothes on? Like, are they staying fully clothed? Really important that they stay fully clothed throughout a session. It's not an erotic massage. It's not supposed to be a sexy experience. And that's a bit of a boundary. If they're removing their clothes or turning it into something like that, then it's a different kettle of fish. And generally, I'm going to assume if you're after like a healing yoni massage type session, then it's not going to be an erotic session where the practitioner is trying to be sexy, and that's not really instilling safety and professional boundaries in the session. So even things like, do they wear gloves? And you can ask them this before you book in, because gloves, that's an indication that they are very professional. They've got boundaries and safety measures in place. It's not going to be just an erotic massage. And there's nothing wrong with erotic massages. That's just a different thing. And, if you're looking for a proper professional yoni mapping therapist, then we're going to be wearing gloves. We're going to be fully clothed. We're going to have really firm boundaries in place and keep you safe, as well as ourselves. Some other red flags during the session would be if they seem to be pushing for orgasm or trying to create that as a bit of a goal that they're moving towards. This isn't a happy ending massage. It's not an erotic massage. That's really inappropriate. If there's flirting, if there's kind of this, a bit of sexual energy running, or if they're offering you extra services, red flag. Yoni massage sessions are supposed to be a one-way touch kind of deal as well. So you don't touch the practitioner, they don't expect you to touch them. They are touching you and giving you a therapeutic session of body work. So there shouldn't be any touch going in the opposite direction. And lastly, like at any point, if you just feel unsafe or icky or uncomfortable or a bit weird, just any kind of doubts, any intuition flaring up that's saying, oh, I don't know about this, listen to that. Any professional who is worth their salt in this industry will never take it personally if you just say, actually, I'm not feeling comfortable or safe, or we need to stop, or can we do, something a little bit less intense, or can we slow down or pause, or I need to leave. Like, it is completely within your rights to do that, and you should be feeling completely in control. And if there's ever a moment where you're just not feeling safe or comfortable, it's okay to just say, right, I'm out of here. So, if you arrive and the space isn't very clean or professional, or if the practitioner just gives you strange vibes, or if you're, right at the point, you've had your chat, you've done all the body work, and you're right at the point of the yoni work, and you're like, oh, well, I've come this far, but something's just not feeling right to you, or you stop feeling safe and comfortable, it's still okay to just call it off right then. Okay, so any practitioner who actually means well and is a professional in this industry, they won't take that personally, and they'll completely understand, and they'll respect you for looking after yourself and putting some boundaries in place. So just remember, you're in control. Our main priority is you and your well-being and your healing as practitioners. So if it's not benefiting you and you're not feeling great anymore, we stop the session. So I hope that those things are helpful. Just make sure that you do your due diligence and you jump online and you do a fair bit of research beforehand, because it's a big deal. And even though it's become really trendy to go and get your yoni massaged or mapped, people are taking it a little bit too lightly sometimes and can be triggering or re-traumatizing themselves because they haven't actually prepared properly and they haven't actually chosen a practitioner that's right for them. And then they've walked into these situations quite vulnerable because they weren't aware that, the practitioner they've chosen maybe isn't the right one for them, or just isn't probably supposed to be in this industry doing this work at all. So make sure you're feeling really confident and comfortable before you arrive. You can usually practitioners will be happy to have a phone call or a Zoom call with you so that you can ask questions and just get a feel for them and voice any fears or anything like that beforehand. So there's a lot of things you can do before you book a session or arrive at a session to help you feel prepared and to be going into it with your eyes wide open and yourself protected. I hope that was really helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, and feel free to jump on my website and check out my page about yoni mapping therapy to learn more about what's involved in a session, the way that I work and the modality that I practice. And there's a big FAQ section there as well that you can check out. So that'll give you a bit of an idea about what the go is with this new thing, yoni mapping therapy. I hope you find a fab practitioner for you, and I hope this is helpful.